So we started looking around and we found this really nice gym called Maranatha Fitness Center in Richmondville, New York. And I pitched it to the owner and she was like, well, you got to talk to my guy. I think it was one of her sons. And he talked with his brother. I mean, they might not have been brothers. I don't know. But two guys that were there. And they were super gung-ho. Like super like, yeah, absolutely. We can pack this. We can pack it. And they needed it because we live in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there. There's no draw. There's no entertainment where we live other than going underground in the caves or tipping cows. So we talked, we worked some stuff out with them. I talked to Furio Falcone, who was really one of my closest wrestling friends, and Fenner's Fortune, again, part of they're like my brothers in wrestling. And they knew Renee, and Renee knew names. And I had my boss at the time was willing to bring in Tony Atlas. So I was like, fuck, dude, we already got a name on the show.
Yeah.
No idea how vendoring works or bringing names in and how you collect the money from, and neither did he.
You were kind of learning on the fly.
This is how much he needs. Right,
yeah.
Right. Well, we got a price from Tony Atlas, called him up. He gave us a price. I told my boss, he's like, yeah, I got it. I didn't know how everything worked after that. I figured you're paying to bring the guy in. My boss didn't know that he had to sit there and take pictures and take the money from the autographs and everything. So as Tony's doing this, there's no handler.
Right.
So he's just pocketing the money. And Renee reached out to Bobby Lashley, who is before his TNA run.
Right. So that was what time frame on that? What year was that?
This is 2013.
Okay.
August 24th.
So that was after his WWE run. He was
right.
Yeah,
right.
So that's a big name.
Yep. Right. I mean, at the time, people were like, "Oh, yeah," because he hadn't really accomplished anything. He wasn't the Bobby Lashley we know now.
Right.
But he had still been WWE. So for me, this is going to be huge. Now, this is going to come off wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm probably going to offend people, but
that's what we're going to do here. That's okay.
It might not have been the best idea to bring in two African-American people to the upstate New York area. There's a lot of country boys up here, a lot of Trump flags flying, and it just, some of the stuff that was being said by the fans wasn't stuff that anybody should have to listen to or hear.
Exactly.
So in retrospect, I wish I had, and I apologize to those two too, because they were class acts the whole time. But I didn't think of that. I didn't think of it until after the fact when we heard the things and we saw the way the crowd was treating.
And that's unfortunate because you're not only spending the money, but you're bringing in names that that you want to entertain people. Like you're bringing these guys in for their entertainment, and
right.
Just turn and shit on somebody,
and
especially
they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to that extent,
it's on YouTube. You can watch all the matches. Tony Atlas was the guest referee of the women's match. And for those of you guys who read the dirt sheets, his fascination with feet.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we did it.
And we will go ahead and put that match up on the NVMe YouTube channel. It's at NVMe Podcast on YouTube. So we'll make sure we get that thrown up there as well so you guys can go check that out.